You're listening to Charting the Future, a podcast for independent pediatricians by PCC. For more information about our software and services, please visit www.pcc.com or visit us on social media.
Well, welcome everybody. This is the second episode, opportunity of the Charting Your Future podcast. I guess for now, I'm hosting it, Chip Hart from PCC, and my goal with this podcast, as we know, is to speak to people in our space, real pediatricians, real people who are seeing and doing and feeling the things that you're seeing and doing and feeling. And we want to share the stories, and we want to share stories quickly. That's why we're doing a podcast. And I'm out on the road, as I often am. I'm at the Florida chapter meeting this weekend, where I just gave an AI talk with Dr. Hiral Lavania, who is going to be my second ever guest on this podcast. And we gave a talk on AI. It went pretty well.
I agree. I think it went really well.
One reason I think it went well is you and I have good contrasting styles.
Yes.
Though you are funny. Like, you told some jokes. But
not as funny as you.
No, you're good. You're funny. You're as funny or funnier. But I told Hiral that we would ask a couple questions because I want to understand and share with everyone across the country what pediatricians are seeing and feeling and what they're interested in and what lessons we can learn from each other. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what's happening in your practice right now? What are you seeing? What's different? What's happening in Georgia?
So we've been back at school for about a month now, and we are not seeing a lot of sick visits and really not seeing as many well checks compared to last year.
Well, do you attribute that to anything?
I think it's multifold. So, we had a lot of problems with COVID and people's immune systems and had some really high spikes in strep cases and mycoplasma last year. And then this year, I think kids are getting healthier. Their immune systems are starting to pick up. They're not coming in for their sick visits. But on the other side, they're not coming in for their well checks either. Could that be the current political climate? Possibly. I also have a lot of people who don't have insurance right now, and trying to get them to come in and pay self-pay rates is pretty difficult.
Yeah, then you had mentioned that to me earlier today, and it means that when I get back to my computer, I'm going to be looking at increases in self-pay rates across pediatricians, because I hadn't noticed that. I hadn't felt that yet. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this, is to hear from people. Like, what are you seeing? That you're like all canaries in a giant coal mine for us. What are you afraid of right now? What's keeping you up at night?
Will kids be vaccinated in the future?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's everyone's biggest fear. Are we going to have Medicaid? Are we going to have VFC vaccines?
Mm-hmm.
Are there going to be independent pediatricians?
Yeah, those are all the things that keep me awake. So thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. What about from a relationship with your patients? How is your relationship with your patients going these days?
For the most part, most of them trust me, but we are having a lot of questions about vaccines and vaccine hesitancy. We've definitely had to dismiss some patients who have become staunch non-vaccinators, but there have been a lot of good conversations that have come out of this with my patients, and just reinforcing how they really need to trust their pediatricians and their primary care doctors right now more than ever.
Oh, you're giving good practiced answers. I like it. Actually, one of the benefits of talking to pediatricians is that they are masters of summarizing a conversation. Like, you do it. Every pediatrician instantly is good on the news. Like, you just did it. All right. What are you looking forward to? Like, what's interesting or exciting or shows a little hope?
There's definitely some good things coming out of AI, just helping us become more creative and using it to help us be more vocal in social media, trying to get more patients in to see us. Also, we're still trying to do our studies without all the grants and funding. So there have been a lot of people that have kind of stepped up and started putting in money into different studies. And I'm really excited about what we find out with type 1 diabetes and the fact that we can soon hopefully start testing everyone for antibodies. So that's exciting stuff.
I did forget to ask you at the beginning. So So, Dr. Hiral, Lavania, tell me about your practice. Who are you and what do you do?
So I am a private pediatrician in Cumming, Georgia. I opened my practice in 2016 with myself and an LPN.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, wait, let's back up for a second. Were you just formed overnight from a stork or a delivery, or what were you doing before that?
before that, I was working for another pediatrician, and I felt like I needed my own space where I could treat kids like I would want my kids to be treated.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to be at the cutting edge of pediatrics. So I did not want to do things because that's the way things were always done. And I wanted to follow Bright Future guidelines. So I thought about it for a long time. I started actually listening to some of your old podcasts.
Oh, no. Okay.
And learned how to start opening my pediatric office. I joined SOPM, learned a lot of things from people who'd already done it. And, it was like a 3-year baby that finally was born March 2016.
All right. Well, so you're coming up on a 10-year anniversary.
I am.
Do you have a plan for your 10-year anniversary?
Not yet. Want to see what the current climate looks like.
Canada?
Maybe. I don't know. Australia might be okay, but everyone's trying to kill you. Everything is.
Yeah, big spiders.
Yeah, I don't like those. But I just hired a new pediatrician, and it's really exciting to have someone to work with that's.
I bet.
Well, yeah. It kind of feels lonely at the top. Yeah. So to have someone to bounce off ideas, it's really exciting.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You were like the perfect interview.
Well, thank you.
All right. And I also had someone come up and ask me if I would give that AI talk with you in Miami in March.
Oh, of next year?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
During my 10-year anniversary.
And someone came from another Florida hospital to ask if I give it during our users conference. So I can't do that one, and neither can you.
During our yeah. Like for them.
Yes.
They can come to our conference.
Exactly. Maybe we'll prop it up at the conference. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. That was perfect.
Thanks.
All right, we're back here at the Florida chapter meeting, and I'm with my friend, Normarie Albino, who actually, you have one of the funniest origin stories for PCC. I don't know if you know that. Okay.
I suppose.
Oh, yeah?
I'm a little suspicious that
yes. Okay. But so, I'm just going to ask. So, tell us who you are, where you practice, and tell us a little bit about your office.
So, I am Normarie Albino. I have been in practice for over 30 years. I graduated from a great program in New York, Montefiore, Go Monty. Then I practiced in Boston for a little bit, and I landed in Florida 26 years ago. Opened my practice, worked really, really hard, seeing patients day in and out. Didn't think about too much about practice management. It was more like see patients, get them in, and carry the mission. Sometimes forgetting the profit and the margin. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I felt like, oh my gosh, how long can I do these? Fighting the usual fights, EMR, payment, management, staff chaos, wearing multiple hats. And then I came into PCC and I drank the Kool-Aid.
That is the proper expression.
And I love it.
Okay, well, thank you. I did not ask for that endorsement. Do you know why everyone knows who you are at PCC?
Yes, I was the person that flew last minute.
She showed up.
No,
she showed up at the users conference and said, "I'm ready to sign up." And we were like, "Who are you?" And it was, I mean, if you show up at a users conference, we'll be nice to you. But it was, we were like, this never happens. And there you were, and here you are now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I flew in. I took a super late flight the last day of the conference, the night before the conference ended. And then I showed up the last day at 7:30 in the morning, spoke to, I want to say it was Lynn Grafton.
Lynn Grafton.
Yep. And I said, here I am. I had known a lot about PCC. I'd read a lot, but I wanted to talk to real pediatricians to tell me, what is this all about? And is this real or not? And then by the end of the day, I had signed up.
Yeah, that just for the record, that never happens in our business. It was great. It was great. So right now in 2025, tell me what's happening in your practice. What are you seeing this year that you haven't seen before?
Oh, vaccine hesitancy has gone up.
Yeah.
And so I've seen it before, but certainly it has gone up. And that's number one. Number two, continue navigating, payers dilemma, continuing trying to make the best profit, and wearing multiple hats. Staff issues is always a problem, although I have developed some new strategies that have been very helpful in terms of keeping the office staff. Back to school physicals. We just did a lot of back to school physicals. And I'm very happy to say that in the state of Florida, we score really big because we recently passed a legislation where all freshmen, incoming freshmen, starting next year, 2026, all athletes will need to have an EKG to participate in sports.
Wow. Yeah. You're the first state to do that.
We are the first state to do that. Yes.
So tell me about it, because one of the reasons I dragged Normarie over here is she pulled me in to talk to the who we play for. Who we play for. So tell me about who we play for.
Who we play for is the organization that really has carried the heavy load and the heavy burden of moving the word forward, talking to legislators, making connection, networking to bring awareness and bring the cause. Their dear cause and mission of preventing sudden cardiac death in athletes. As most organizations, non-for-profit, there's always a story behind, and, I feel that that's not my story to tell, but we, a lot of us that get involved in screening for heart problems in athletes also have a story, and of course I do have mine too. I was, up until 3 or 4 years ago, I was the pediatrician that always faced the dilemma of clearing a kid for sports. Is this the kid that had a perfect exam, perfect family history? Is he the kid that the system is going to fail to a degree through me? And is this the kid that is going to have a sudden cardiac event or sudden cardiac death? Currently, we have been doing EKGs in our office. Our EKG machine has the plus that has the athletic EKG built-in criteria for athletes. So our false positive rate is pretty low. And we have been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years. We do EKG screenings on all of our athletes every other year. And actually, we are going to start every year to everyone 12 and above, regardless of their athletic abilities or even athletic participation. Mm-hmm. And so the legislation behind this is really a great way of bringing the awareness out. And now it's time to spread the word to other pediatricians. How are you going to do this? It can be done. The technology is there to do those EKGs and have that, that vulnerability of, am I, flagging a patient abnormally, unnecessarily, and creating unnecessary anxiety versus really identifying the kids that truly have pathology. Through the partnership of who we play for, we not only do the EKGs, and the EKG machine puts out an interpretation. Each EKG, through volunteers, cardiac specialists read the EKGs, overread the EKGs to eliminate the component of machine only. In addition to the technologies, superb compared to several years ago, there's still the element of a live individual looking at the EKGs. Families get their EKGs reading within 1 to 2 weeks. Who we play for has done this in massive numbers for the past several years. When the ordinance or the law passed first in Orange County, I believe that year they screened over 50,000 kids in just a handful of months. And so kind of to me, that's my big news. I'm very excited. I'm very passionate. Not only I will be continuing to do my EKGs in the office, I will expand it to now every patient that is 12 and above. Many children participate from sports that are not related or not affiliated to the school system. I'm hoping to bring more awareness to other pediatricians, but also to help them figure out how to implement it, because it's really for every pediatrician in Florida. It's going to be right at your door. When is it? Like in the spring when the kids need a new sports physical. I think it's April or May when the kids need their newer, for upcoming school year sports physical.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a couple of the dirty questions about this.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been doing it for a couple of years, so how long does it take to do the procedure?
The EKG takes, there is a pre-registration portion. You give the computer to the patient and the patient answers the questions.
Yeah.
And the questions are exactly the same questions that are part of the structure pre-participation forms.
Yeah.
And then after that, the strips are put, I would say between 3 to 5 minutes. It uploads within seconds. You see the EKGs, on the screen, on the computer screen. Then after that, it gets printed into the PDF. That puts out a preliminary unconfirmed normal. So I would say from beginning to end, no more than 5 minutes.
Okay. And the dirtiest question of all, who's paying? How much?
Up until now, I cannot say that an insurance has not denied payment.
Okay.
Every single insurance has issued payment. We use screening for cardiovascular conditions for the patients that have screening for cardiovascular conditions as a diagnosis. For the patient that has a family history, we would use that as well. For the patient that has symptoms, which a lot of the times you have to dig out.
Yep.
Then we use whatever symptom. And, I do want to say this is not in substitution to a cardiologist evaluation. The cardiologist evaluation will happen anyways, but it gives you the opportunity to know it's okay for that patient to go home, and you clear them and you say everything looks good.
Yep.
And doesn't keep you up at night.
Right.
It's, one filter to avoid spending time in the middle of the night worrying about my patients.
Right.
It's better to worry about the numbers than to worry about the patients.
Yeah.
I'd rather worry about the numbers than the patients.
Well, there you go. That should be your practice mission right there. Worrying about the patients, not the numbers. Well, thank you, Normarie. It's always good to see you. The Florida chapter is one of the coolest chapters to visit, and I get to run into things like this. I think it's pretty certain that we're going to be back in touch with you to talk about how this will be implemented in pediatric practices. It's just starting here in Florida first.
Yes.
All right.
It's coming to your state.
It's coming to your state. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Make sure to hit the subscribe button to join us in charting the future. More information can be found in our show notes. Production and editing by Chip Hart, Ali Squires, and Chris Forleo. Our music is by Challenger C, and I'm Mark Herney.